Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 13 of the September daily draw. So as we start the weekend, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Mystic Palette Tarot Muted Edition, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have another queen. We have the Queen of Cups. Interesting, isn't it, that we've had another queen? So very much we're nurturing and developing things within us. We're adjusting, we're adapting, we're developing the opportunities, we're helping them grow, and you know we're connecting with what opportunities we have. And whereas we had the I think it was the ace yesterday, was it not? And just having a quick check just to make sure. Yes, it was the ace. So this new opportunity. And the Queen will help us develop that opportunity for relationship, for emotional, spiritual connection, or whatever it is that we're seeking the opportunity and taking hold of the opportunity to bring into our lives and to nurture it, to grow it within us and within our lives. And the Queen of Cups comes to give us that nurturing energy and that connection, energy of connection to whatever it is that we want to do. So we've got this seed of an idea, we've got this seed of some connection, or you know, of some kind of relationship or experience or spiritual path or something of that nature that we can connect with, and that we can let the energy flow like water flows. It's the water element again, and we can synchronize with the the ebbs and flows of that energy and go with it. And that's what the Queen of Cups will help us to do, will help us to be sensitive to the energy, or that water element energy, will help us to, with the fluctuating emotions, will help us to navigate those and to use those to move forward. She has the wisdom, she has the ability, she has particularly the Queen of Cups has the compassion sometimes needed. So we may need to be compassionate in situations. We need to be compassionate to ourselves more than anything. Sometimes the hardest person that treats us the hardest, and can do us the most down, is ourselves. And sometimes we need to show a bit more compassion to ourselves. How can we show compassion in its purest sense to others if we don't know how to show compassion to ourselves? That's so they're both important. And yes, it is compassion to others, but as I say, it starts with that compassion to ourselves within us. And then that compassion, once we have connected with it and experienced it for ourselves, we're more ready then for to let it flow out to other people and to the situations around us. Compassion is just heartfelt understanding about human frailty, about how things can be. Does it mean that we excuse everything? Does it mean that we bend over and that we submit to everything and let ourselves be overwhelmed? On the contrary, it's a powerful compassion. It's a compassion through strength of knowing that we can withstand the ebbs and flows that come at us. But understanding our frailty helps us to have compassion for the frailty of others in any given situation. Does it mean that we necessarily excuse any actions that are not to be excused, that should be dealt with fairly, but firmly, sometimes justly, but with an element of compassion, the understanding of how these things can arise, within us. When we understand that, we become aware of how they can arise in other people. As I say, does it mean that we condone or sanction or whatever any kind of action from other people? It just means we're willing to show a bit of compassion, to try and understand. Some things may be beyond that understanding, but at least we can try. So, but it starts with it starts with us. Sometimes we can be, as I said, the person who's the hardest upon ourselves is us. And we need to perhaps give ourselves a bit of a break, show a bit of compassion. Yes, acknowledge mistakes, resolved to not repeat them, resolved to do better. But let's do this with a positive, compassionate, positive mindset and a compassionate heart as we move forward. And let's go with the flow of the energy of that as we move forward. Let that energy flow out from within us into the situations that we face and to the people that we connect with. And who knows what effect and what change that may bring. But we won't know if we don't try. So the Queen of Cups tells us to be kind to ourselves and to be fair and kind and compassionate to others, but also to be just, to be true to ourselves and to what we believe, and to know that we do make mistakes, but we can resolve to learn and do better. And that's what I believe the Queen of Cups is telling us today. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Tea magic. She's making tea and she's using a teapot to grow some flowers in a used teapot that she doesn't perhaps use anymore, but she's made a brew here. She's pouring the tea out, and that can often bring relaxing and let's have a cup of tea. It warms the body, warms the heart. Reach into your subconscious, pull from the source, and weave magic with intention, and the answers will unfold. And just as we put all the ingredients in and pour in the water and let the thing brew, sometimes it takes a bit of time, but with that intention, the answers will unfold in due time of how we proceed with this learning about compassion, learning how to grow emotionally and spiritually. So, sit down with a cup of tea and just relax and give yourself a break and see how you can do better and how you can bring that love and compassion in yourself and through you to the situations around you. And that is the message of the cards today. So that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 14. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you all again soon. Okay, bye-bye.